A formula to transform my beauty into ugliness.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at all the major reasons why the upcoming Snow White is being so heavily criticized.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Yet another live-action remake.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Even if you're not following all the drama, chances are you're discouraged from the film for the sole reason that it's yet another live-action Disney remake. These have been mildly successful at best, and we'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who enjoys one of the remakes over the respective originals.
But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
They've always been an inferior product, often of much lesser quality, and stinking of studio greed. Unfortunately, Snow White looks to be no different, and this one has the added baggage of adapting what is arguably the most legendary film in the animated canon. This isn't Mulan, and no disrespect to Mulan, this is freaking Snow White we're talking about here.
So, whistle while you work.
The casting of Rachel Ziggler.
Close my eyes and see the girl I'm meant to be. Is she a part of me? I've had to hide.
From day one, the casting of Rachel Ziggler has been fiercely criticized. Some took the criticism in a racial direction, arguing that Snow White should be a Caucasian woman, not a Latina. This was made worse when fans realized that Disney was engaging in colorblind casting, as Ziggler's runner-up, Renata Vaca, revealed that the casting call was open to all ethnic groups.
Reveal her name.
Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow.
Snow White.
Others just didn't like the casting in general, arguing that Snow White should be played by a bigger actress and not a relative newcomer. We'll see how she does, but the behind-the-scenes drama isn't doing her any favors. More on that in a minute, but first, the casting of Gal Gadot.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
It's not just Snow White that people have a problem with, it's the evil queen as well. While maybe not as fierce and vocal, the casting of Gal Gadot has also attracted a fair bit of criticism, and also for various reasons. Some simply don't find her a very good actress, and this belief is reinforced in the trailer thanks to some awkward line readings.
Take him away!
Your Majesty.
What did you say?
It seems like quite a poor performance, even by the cartoonish standards of Disney. Others find Gadot more traditionally attractive than Rachel Ziggler, which creates a problem with the whole fairest of them all thing. Whichever way you slice it, many think that the casting in this film could have used some work.
I look at you, and I just want to be the fairest of them all.
The comments from David Hand.
A blast of wind to fan my hate. A thunderbolt to mix it well.
It always helps when a remake gets the seal of approval from someone involved in the original, and it does irreparable damage when it receives criticism. David Hand was not directly involved in making Snow White, but his father was. David Hand Sr. was the supervising director of the original film, and his son has been quite vocal about his disdain for the remake.
We know who we are. Ask her who she is and what she's doing here.
The 91-year-old spoke to The Telegraph and didn't mince his words, finding the remake a bit insulting. He also claimed that, "There's no respect for what Disney did and what my dad did. I think Walt and he would be turning in their graves." In certain circles, his words only added fuel to the fire.
Take her far into the forest. Find some secluded glade where she can pick wildflowers.
Yes, Your Majesty.
And there, my faithful huntsman, you will kill her.
Open criticism of the original.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937.
It's not a good look when people involved in a remake actively criticize the original, and it's certainly not a good look when they criticize something that is both widely beloved and enormously influential. Rachel Ziggler has openly criticized the original Snow White in a number of interviews, calling it outdated and sexist.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Which, fair enough. It is certainly a little old-fashioned, but for many, her comments came across as derogatory. Critics felt that she shouldn't be publicly bad-mouthing a movie that gave her a job, while others felt it was offensive to the original film and those who still enjoy it. Some even found her comments, ironically, anti-feminist. Talk about anti-marketing.
Snow White still lives, the fairest in the land. 'Tis the heart of a pig you hold in your hand.
Deviations from the original story.
The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
Snow White is a beloved film. It's one of those movies and stories that people know by heart, so it's very disheartening to hear that Disney will be changing so much of it. This information once again comes from Ziggler, who has alluded to the changes in numerous interviews. The exact details aren't known, but she has referenced big alterations to both Snow White and the prince, and has hinted at Disney removing their love story.
Once there was a princess.
Was the princess you?
And she fell in love.
Was it hard to do?
It was very easy. Anyone could see that the prince was charming. The only one for me.
And judging by the trailers, it seems like Snow White will become a very active agent in defeating the evil queen. While this reflects a move towards modern sensibilities, it has also upset many who just want a simple love story in the vein of the classic fairy tale.
The fact that she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's the proactive one, and she's the one who set the terms, is what makes it so relevant to where we are today.
Social media drama.
There are growing calls tonight for Disney to fire Rachel Ziggler, the star of its widely anticipated Snow White remake. It's because of an anti-Donald Trump post she made after the election.
Maybe everyone doesn't follow it, but for those who do, the social media drama behind this film has also generated some negative publicity. Both Ziggler and Gadot have expressed opposing views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, so really, there's no winning here. People have been upset with Gadot for expressing pro-Israel sentiments, and vice versa with Ziggler in Palestine. And Ziggler came under fire from conservatives and Republicans after calling Donald Trump's win a deep sickness in this country, and stating, "May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." Many agree with her statements, but many do not, and it's just one more PR blunder affecting the marketing of her upcoming film.
You know, you can understand their sensitivity here because while it may go straight over the heads of kids, parents are the ones who take their kids to the movies, and you may or she may have really alienated some parents in certain states and with certain political leanings, and that costs money.
Poor production values.
I'm sorry, my dear. Did I frighten you?
You know, maybe we wouldn't mind these live-action films if some actual effort and thought were put into them. Snow White has a mind-blowing budget of $270 million. Yet, it looks like some cheap fantasy movie that Netflix would pump out to fill a quota. Once again, the film has that cheap digital shine to it, making it look like some straight-to-streaming junk.
My father told me long ago I braved a bitter storm of snow. Is that a girl I'll ever know again?
The green screen work once again looks poor, the costuming is pathetic with Spirit Halloween outfits and Snow White's Lord Farquaad hair, and the CGI looks abysmal. Seriously, what is with those dwarves and those woodland animals? An astonishing amount of work went into making the 1937 original. It deserves better than this.
She's mighty pretty.
She's beautiful, just like an angel.
Dwarfism controversy.
So in response to that podcasts have real power now, the Disney company said it was, quote, rethinking its use of dwarves in the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs remake. Now some dwarf actors are asking, who put Peter Dinklage in charge of the dwarf community?
The situation with the dwarves has been a mess from the very beginning. Disney announced that they were taking a different approach with the Seven Dwarfs, following negative comments from Peter Dinklage. He appeared on Mark Maron's podcast and called out Disney, criticizing their progressive approach to the movie while retaining the backward dwarves. However, his comments received widespread criticism, as did Disney's reimagining of the characters.
He wants to be progressive, and it's all about progression, and I support that completely, but the issue is, him being progressive is eliminating 7 potential dream jobs from the dwarf acting community.
According to a leaked set photo, most of the dwarves were being played by non-dwarf actors of various ethnicities and genders, with both aspects receiving fierce condemnation. People didn't like the non-dwarf actors, and people didn't like the overly PC approach. Basically, Disney was impressing no one, and it was about to get a whole lot worse.
This is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Why are you hiring Snow White and the seven average people? You know? So if that's what they want to do, then I guess they're going to have a lot of people angry at them.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Horrible CGI dwarfs. So Disney's response to all this criticism was to retain the dwarfs, but change them into wretched CGI creatures. There's no way around it. These things look absolutely terrible. It's obvious that Disney was rushed following all the controversy, because these things couldn't be more out of place.
Wait.
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
The visual effects are entirely unconvincing, and their faces look like those nightmarish creations from the Polar Express. And those faces were widely mocked 20 years ago. In trying to move forward, Disney only slipped backward, and by multiple decades. We don't know how much screen time these dwarfs get, but our stomachs will certainly be hurting from all the laughing. Are you looking forward to this movie? Let us know in the comments below.
This is our kingdom, and now we're here to take it back.
You were saying?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.